Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these two different versions of these super cute headbands, and that is this scrunchy version, and there is glue strings, and then there's the straight version. Now the other thing with this is I've been trying to find more cost effective ways to use some of my materials, because obviously with the cost of living crisis we want to be keeping our cost down so we can make more profit on what we're making and things like that. And this is really simple because it's a really pretty easy ribbon. It's really pretty, it's not very expensive, you get a lot of money for what you can make, and obviously the plastic headbands aren't very expensive either. So I've got these versions, and this is in 1.5 inch ribbon with a 1 inch headband inside. And I also did a bunch of these versions, and this has got like a scalloped edge to it, you can see more on this one. And this is a 25mm version with a 9mm headband. So these bigger ones have got a 1 inch headband, and the skinnier 25mm ribbon has got a 9mm plastic headband in. But like I said, look how pretty they are. Like I said, they're so simple. And for me personally, I brought this from AliExpress, which is what's known as foot tape. And I'll put a link in the description box below for you to be able to find it yourself. But you can just use basic 1 inch ribbon instead, black ribbon instead. So it's whatever works for you. You could even use matching ribbon to make it sort of fit if you prefer to have the other colours that match instead. So it's entirely up to yourself. And you can also, same method, you just have to be careful with your gluing. But you can make mini little scrunchies as well, and look how cute they are. So like I said, you can basically make 3 different things with this. Like I said, you can make the standard versions in the 1.5 inch ribbon as well. Now the trickiest part about this whole project is actually getting the ribbon open for you to be able to fit the ribbon in. Now for this you can use a seam ripper. I have this tool that came with my cam clip tool, but most of you are going to be more likely to have one of these. Now in this longer one, I've already opened mine up because this ribbon, it has 2 layers, you see? But currently, those layers are completely sealed. There's no way to currently get inside of this. So what I do is I take one of these, or any sort of sharpish tool, and what you want to do is near the edge, is you sort of want to, can you see? You sort of get it so that your tool is between the layers, and then you can bring it up and across so that you get some fraying, and can see this bit is open. And then use whatever tool you have, whether or not it's your seam ripper or something sharp, even a sewing needle, a safety pin, just something where you can sort of pick that open just a little bit. And then for this I used my gem picker tool, or like I said, you want a felt tip. I've actually glued my lid shut, can you see? Because it was, even though it's completely clear ink, I didn't want to get any marks on it, so I actually glued this lid shut. But because it's nice and rounded, it's not going to damage my fabric as I do this. That was my tip for you. You want something that's going to be able to go through it easily, and you just open up your layer so you can get in. And then before you put the headband in, because I did try and do it where you put the headband in as you're going, but it took absolutely forever. So this is a trick to it, and this is going to be the straight edge one. And you want 38 inches, I'll put the measurements afterwards. 38 centimetres for the straight edge versions, and 60-70 centimetres for the ruffled versions. But you basically just go all the way up here, and once you've gone past, just keep going. Try and keep it centred, but you can push it over as I did there. Now, because this is only a 9mm gap that we've created, and we're putting in a 1 inch headband, the other trick you can do, because you'll still struggle to get the headband in, is push it And you also do this on the ruffled version, which I've already done and I'll show you in a minute. But basically, I push it open, but not to the end because you'll undo it. But you just want to widen it a little bit. And I just go down. With your 9mm 25mm ribbon, you won't need to do this as much, but for, like I said, the 1-inch headband, it just makes it that much easier to push it through and stops you like getting it stuck and snagging on the ribbon as well, because we don't want that. We don't want any snags from a headband when we've taken this time to get the ribbon open in the first place. And this will help you get the ruffle in a minute. So I have already done the exact same method to these two tubes. I have got my 1-inch wide plastic headbands, and I got these from Amazon. I got 30 for like £10, which is quite a good deal. I got 15 black and 15 white, but I like the white ones in these because it's less hard to see. And as you said, just pop it all the way along, and look how easily that goes in. Whereas if we'd have left it as tight as that, we would have had to spend absolutely ages trying to wiggle it. And basically I bring it all the way down to here, put a clip on here for a minute, and then pull it down, and you can see, try and make it nice and even. The more you've opened it evenly on each side, the nicer and more balanced your ruffle will look. And then just pull it up until you get to the end. And then what I do is put that out your way with your finger so you don't glue anything on there. And you don't want a lot of glue on this, but you want a tiny bit of glue on the front and the back. And then keep your little pocket open and make sure it's centralised as well on the headband. And you glue that flat. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact same to this end. You just pull it down just a little bit so you can get in the bit here. Tiny touch of glue, move that side out of the way, make sure you're not getting any glue on the rest of the headband. Pull it up, make sure it's central, and if you're anything like me and can't feel glue on your, well, hot glue on your fingers anymore, you sort of just get a little bit on there. And then you want to put a little bit of glue this side, and I do like a triangle shape, and then you fold that in straight like this, and then you take the other side and wrap that over like that. And then I've got these sewing clips because I've been using my sewing machine more recently. I'll just put one of them in there, and like I said, make sure you've got this bit straight, so you want it straight to begin with. And again, you just want to glue a little bit there, make sure you're not getting any glue anywhere else on the headband, as I said, because it is easier when you've not got a camera filming to show other people. It is easier to do. I'm just trying to make it so you can actually see what I'm doing, which means that I'm holding the headband in quite an awkward way compared to how you would be able to do it. But there you go, you basically do that both sides, and then you can put your clip on. Now the other thing I do, as you can see my ruffles are a bit all over the place at the moment, is from the side where it's least ruffled, after you've moved all your glue stringers out of the way, is I start here and I just sort of evenly ruffle it across, and I sort of give it about an inch above. You can see there it's all sort of gathered up, so basically all you do is, like I said, wiggle it up, and again you've got about an inch there, and we're going to leave these like this for just 1 minute because we're going to do the same with this one. And like I said, this is the 38 centimeters. You could do 36, but it depends on the headbands because you might be using a slightly wider version. But again, just pocket it through. And as I said, I've left a little bit extra, but move your headband a little bit out of the way. Or your fabric ribbon. Nice open fabric ribbon. And I got all of this ribbon, all of these different versions. And she's got this like Dalmatian polka dotted version. There is the floral print. There is a couple of different there's water print version, and there is another one. I'll put some photos at the end of the video for you as well. There's lots of different versions of this ribbon, and it is so simple to do this. And I just bring it all the way along, smooth it so it's flat all the way, and then take your scissors at the end, just cut that little bit of excess off. But like I said, I do give, like I said, at least 38. And again, pull it back just a little bit. Little bit of glue, little bit of glue. Centre that before you press it down and stick it. There we go. And again, move that side out the way. Triangle of glue this side. Or a dot. Square that across so it's like this. Right tight against the headband. Same thing this side. Bring that across. So you've got the nice tight leg there. And again, just a little clippy in place. Turn it over, and you want to start the same side that you glued in, and this will give it so it wraps around the opposite way. It shouldn't make sense logically because my brain tells me to do it the opposite way, but do it the same way that you did on the opposite side and it balances. There we go. Bring that in like that. A little bit of glue here. Over we go. And our little clippy bit there. And then if you have any like little frayu bits on this, I just use my lighter, give it a little bit of a, doesn't matter too much because we're covering it up with the feet or the ribbon. And like I said, I've got my foot tape, and it's basically like adhesive black ribbon. So it's basically a, I'll tell you, I've got a roller here. So it's basically 1.5 centimeters, which is basically like 15mm like sticky ribbon, and this side it's like double-sided tape, so it's all sticky this side. And I'll show you on the standard version because I like these ones, but I prefer the Ruffle ones more. So on these, what I do is I take my foot ribbon and I put it so it's about, so there's still a quarter of a bit over there, like a few millimeters over the foot, and then you wrap it over, and that bit that overlaps, tap it there, and then I take my finger across with my scissor, cut that there, and then you wrap it around and you pinch so it holds in place, and then you take your tape again and you go same amount up on your foot. You bring it round nice and tight, pinch it, move it across on your finger, take your scissors and then wrap it round so it's all nicely lined up like this. And then what I do to finish it off is I give it a little trim down and then take my lighter and heat it and pinch it. And the same this end, just give it a little trim down, move that little bit out of the way, and there we go. So that's what it looks like there. And like I said, on this one you can use this, or you could use 9mm ribbon, whatever's best for yourself. and the principle is exactly the same. What you do is make sure you've heat sealed your ribbon on either end. We want to wrap it so it goes over sort of about the same amount, so we want to do it about a few millimeters up from the end of the foot. Because this doesn't have the glue on it pre-done like the other one, put a little bit of glue on your headband so it's got something to stick to. There we go, so you've got that bit over there, as you can see. And then tightly wrap this round, so you want some glue on this side now as well. But again, don't overload it too much because you don't want glue seeping out the top all over the ribbon. But nice and tight round. And then you want the glue over this side. And I did an 1.5 inch round. Now where it pops open, what I do is take your glue gun and pop a bit of glue in the end and then pinch that down. And like I said, same principle as your tape. You cut off that bit of excess, take your lighter and exact same principle. So that's what that side looks like. And again, about 1.5 inches. Remember to heat seal before you wrap it round. Start with a bit of glue on your actual headband itself, but not too much. There we go. Don't go all the way over the edge because you want it to neatly wrap round. We want about 3 millimeters kind of thing, and then glue this side. Like I said, don't go too far where you would be wrapping your ribbon round. Tightly across. I'm just going to trim this down just ever so bit because I think that's going to overlap a little bit, which is easy to do. And again, heat sealing your blue clear bit of the flame. Like I said, remember I'm unnaturally holding the headband, but I do have snap-free headbands, which is the type that I specifically buy from Amazon, so I can do things like this without harming the headband. Bring it all the way around. Same as the other side. And again, open that up. Bit of glue in the end. Flatten it out. Cut some of that excess off. Pinch it again. And trim. And then heat seal the end in the blue, clear blue bit of the flame. And there you go. You've got your nice finished ruffle ones with ribbon. You've got it with your feet. And look how cute they are. And like I said, so many different versions of this ribbon. So easy to do. And like I said, you can even make the little mini scrunchies, or you can do bigger scrunchies. You could do standard size scrunchies. I did these with 30 centimeters of ribbon and about 6 inches of elastic, and this one was about 40 centimeters and about 7 inches of elastic. So cute. Thanks for watching. Bye.